반갑습니다, Steve. I hope you're having a great week. Okay, this is the day, KAM Chats. It's like we're hitting the reset button. We got to decide here and now. What's the better city to live in? Seoul or Busan? Now, here's the thing about Seoul. Everybody wants to go to Seoul. It's like their number one choice. People want to teach English, people want to travel. They always choose Seoul. It's like so cliche, you know? Oh, I want to go to Seoul. Seoul for me, that's the best place. That's the only place to be. In my case, my personal case, my first choice was Seoul, but I got placed in Busan. There's a big difference there. And now that I've been here for 3 years, I'm really glad that I got placed in Busan and not Seoul. And here are the reasons why. Let's see how we measure up to each other here. Busan versus Seoul. First of all, Busan is a large city. It's 3.5 million people. Geographically, the size of it is a big city. The thing about it is, no matter where you go in Busan, it always maintains kind of a small town feel. It's not like in Seoul, it's definitely the old city, the brick and mortar concrete jungle thing there. But you never really fall into that in Busan. You're always not too far from just getting away real easy, and it maintains that small town-ish type feel somewhere in the city. So we got that. Second thing is, I think it's going to be uncontestable, if that's a word. But we got the beaches. From one end of the city to the other, it's just coastline, and we got three major beaches: Haeundae, Gwangali, and Songdo, out by me. And in between is Yeongdo, which is a small island. That's where I got placed when I first came to Korea for 2 years. That's where Taejongdae Park is. I believe you went there. You did a blog or a vlog on it. That's a great place. Takes you onto the cliffs. It's not really a beach there, but you're on the cliffs. We're overlooking the water. It is beautiful scenery. They got a mountain you can hike up and a path that's about, I think, like either a kilometer or 1 mile. I forget which one it is. I think it's a mile around. Beautiful park, awesome place to go. So we got the beaches. We also got the mountains that are really easy to get to. I can just walk out my door, 2 minutes, I'm walking up a mountain hiking path. And it's really easy to get to mountains to hike in Busan, no matter where you are. I think it's going to be a little harder in Seoul just because it's a sprawling city. You'd probably have to travel a little bit to get to a mountain. Again, it depends on where you live. So, beaches and mountains. The other thing, your neighbor is North Korea. I'm not going to get into it too much, but that's who your neighbor is. Our neighbor is Japan. And we are the closest city to Japan. If you want to go to Japan, you can just go to Gimhae International Airport, hop a flight with Air Busan, you're there in like an hour. Piece of cake. You're also like 40 minutes to Jeju, which is awesome too. You actually watch on the screen as you go up and you go down. It's just the quickest flight. We also have these ferries that leave the port here. Could take you to Japan too. If that's your thing, being on the water. It's a lot longer ride, but if you like being on the water, we got the ferries as well. All right, here's the other thing. Busan is a little cooler, a little more mild in the summertime, and not so frigid and crazy freezing and snowy in the wintertime. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we're on the water. It kind of regulates the extreme ups and downs. I know that Seoul in the summertime is stifling hot, and you guys get hit with snow, and it's freezing up there compared to Busan. So we get that. Also, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say we have cleaner air just because we're on the water here, and it's the air currents constantly being filtered out. I think when you're over a big city that's inland, as Seoul is, you're going to have a little bit of a pollution issue, or just not quite as clean air. Anyway, thing about Seoul is if you like the big city, if you're looking for that, like I said before, the concrete jungle, Seoul is definitely it, because I've been there a few times and I was like, I'm in the city now. This definitely feels like the city. It's kind of like a cross between Busan and New York City. That's how I would describe it. Last thing that Seoul has over Busan, I'll give you this, you have more foreigners. I kind of feel like a native now, a native Korean, because with all the cutbacks in EPIC and not so many teachers being in the area, whenever I see a foreigner now, I stop and stare. I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen a foreigner forever. right? I mean, and the foreigners that I do see more often than they are from, say, the UK or America or Western countries, there I hear them speaking like Slavic or Northern European languages, French, Russian, something like that. So you have a lot more diversity up there. There's no doubt about that. But that's it. That's how I think Busan is better. Let's decide it now, Steve. Let's take off the gloves and see what you got. Tell me what you got about Seoul up there. I'll see you next time. Peace out.